Yes. What you saying, everyone? The man's here, our special guest for the week. We've drawn him in for an emergency meeting. Times are fucking hard at the moment, so we needed a therapy session, man. Have a chat about what's gone on in the first couple of weeks of the Premier League. Obviously, we'll dig a little bit deeper into the transfer window on the whole as well. And just try and make ourselves feel a little bit better, man, is what I'm feeling. Because I've been fucking stressed the last few days. My blood pressure's gone through the roof. I don't know about you. Have you managed to calm down a little bit yet, or?
To be honest, I've not even been that angry. Like, I wasn't even that angry after the Brighton game. I was just more sort of like, oh yeah, we're doing this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're doing this. We're in this state again where we're just losing games against teams that we should be beating, which you can't do if you want to win a league. So yeah, like that's probably a red flag, isn't it? When you're not even getting that angry anymore, that you're just like, yeah, we're just crap. Like that's just where we're at. Like it's not.
I think I need to get to that stage. I don't think I'm there yet. The acceptance stage.
The acceptance that we ain't going to win the league stage. Yeah.
I think I'm still in the hopeful stage, and that's what's killing me at the moment. The fact that I went from first week saying that we're going to win the league again, and then literally fucking 2 weeks later, man, I'm saying how washed we are. And
we got Al Hilal again, didn't we? That's what happened. Yeah. We played Wolves, cooked them, and it was like, yes, we're back. Just like we did after Juventus. Then we got Al Hilal, and then again we got Spurs. So
because even the Spurs loss hasn't aged well now either. They got fucking pumped off Brighton or Bournemouth, didn't they? So
I know, man. It's just like I seen a stat on Twitter yesterday. Some guy said City haven't beat a team that was in the top 10 when we played them away from home for over a year.
Fuck off. Away from home.
I seen a guy. I don't know if it's true. So maybe somebody should fact check it, but like no one was like saying, "Nah, that ain't true." Wow. He put a tweet out and basically said, "When we played a team away from home in the top 10 the last year, we've not won the game."
Well, that's the thing now, innit? It used to be a top 4 back in the day, like early 2000s. Then it went into a top 6, and now I think the Premier League's pretty much a top 9 or 10 now, innit? When you throw your Newcastles in and your Villas in and teams like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many harder games nowadays, other than just the top 4. Like, I hate going Villa Park and St James's. I can't stand it. So,
and we don't beat 16 teams anymore. 6 wins out of the last 21. I keep saying it because we've got 2 top 6 teams coming up next. And if you want to win this league, we're going to have to take a minimum of 4 points in the next 2, really, for me. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, we'll already be like 10 points behind.
I know. It's not fucking good.
So we've got to sort it out, man. It's got to be sorted out quickly. You can't be losing games where you're winning games. Like, we've got to stop this going 1-0 up and losing, man. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the scary thing, isn't it? Because I know we spoke about it on your show the other day on the panel, like, and a lot of people are trying to like sugarcoat the situation, saying, "Oh, it's still early doors yet. It was still only 3 games in," and I'm like, no, it's not just 3 games. Like, it's not just a case of us failing for the first 3 games of a season. Like, City always struggle early on. This has been a problem now for the best part of 10 months, bro. Like, this is a continuation of everything that we went through last year. And if anything, it's looked worse.
Well, the thing is, this is why people annoy me, is because they try and glaze shit and like they basically get that outright lying. The problem that they've got is that the players and the manager aren't glazers. So, they sit there and go, "Oh, everything's fine. And then Pep will come out and say, nobody's getting a bonus. Not one person's getting a bonus. This season's been shambolic." He came out before the FA Cup final and said, even if we win the FA Cup final, this season's been a bad season, which muds all their views that, oh, it's all fine. Like, bro, you got to pick a fucking side, man.
Look at Rodri as well. Look at Rodri.
Rodri's pissed off. You know, I said it before this. I didn't even see the full quotes. I said, I bet Rodri's fuming. And then over the last couple of days, I started seeing the quotes that he's been saying. Like, people just got to stop fucking lying and just tell the truth. Like, what's going on? He's off fucking madness.
It's like you're not allowed to be annoyed, is it? Like,
you're not allowed to be annoyed. Like, listen, like, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, you have to win every single trophy. But like, I'm also not going to sit here and just downright lie and say, oh, everything's fine, when clearly everything's not fine. Like, our top 6 record is shit.
12 months
we've got fucking mid players all over the gaff. We've got no right back at the football club. And now our best player's coming out and he's saying, like, shit's not good, man. Like, it needs to be sorted out. And he's not just talking about performances. He's saying off the pitch. He's saying stuff off the pitch is not going that. He's not right. I.e., basically, what I take from that, he's saying our signings have been shit. Now, I think that this summer, the club have recognised that Because if you look at the signings we've made, like we're not signing like mad unproven players. Do you know what I'm signing? Like you look at Donnarumma, world-class goalkeeper. You look at Reinders, midfielder of the year in Serie A. You look at Cherky, Prem proven player, obviously not at a world-class level, but still Prem proven. And then obviously you got Cherky, who, yeah, he's still young. He still played 200 games for Lyon. So
had a good run in Europe last year as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So I think the club have recognised that. The problem that players like Rodri you've got, who remembers 30 years old, you know, it's all right for people saying, again, disingenuous, saying, you know, you just got to be patient and that, you got to be patient. Well, Rodri can't be patient. Rodri's 30 years old. He can't wait 3 years. He wants to be winning Champions League and Premier Leagues now. Yeah. So don't fucking start moaning if you decide to, you know what, I ain't here for the process. I'm leaving. I'm going to go Real Madrid or something because I ain't got 3 years to wait. I'm in my prime. I need to be playing in a team that's.
And then all these people that have been saying it's all right, calm down and all this, but they'll all be crying then, won't they?
They'll all be crying and then they'll probably be calling him a snake and that. And it's like, nah, you're part of the problem, man, because you ain't saying what's the truth. You know what I mean? And this is what gets me frustrated. You know what I mean? It's not about being entitled. It's not about, oh, you're only supporting for the trophies. It's about just saying the honest thing that the club have made mistakes. And for players like Haaland and Rodri, who are legitimate world-class players who want to be winning Champions League, Premier Leagues, and want to be fighting for Ballon d'Or, they ain't going to do it if they're in a team that's not even reaching the knockout stages of the Champions League and that's winning one game in 13. That's just a fact.
Bro, imagine if we don't get Champions League this year. Do you think these players are going to want to stick around like your Rodgers?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I do think we'll get Champions League, but like you've got to start being honest, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, I think the club have obviously recognised the mistakes because we've not signed the Dokus and the Savios and them sort of guys. But the problem is the damage has already been done. And have we done enough this window to get us back up there? I don't.
What do you think? What do you think if you asked yourself?
I think if everybody, I think if your core players all step it up and get back to world class levels, I think you'll be there and thereabouts. So I think you need your Donnarumma to be world class. I think you're going to need Diaz, Stone, or Stones, ideally both of them, to get back to world class levels. You need Rodri to hit the ground running, and you need Foden and Haaland. I've said throughout this whole window, if we win the league or whatever, it's not going to be because of Reinders. It's not going to be because of Cherky. No. It's not going to be because of Ike Nori. It'll be because of the players that have been here and have done it. We need these players to all get back up to it. That's what
I was actually thinking about this last night, LB, to be honest with you. And you think about the players that we've brought in compared to the likes of... listen, I'm not glazing Liverpool or Arsenal and stuff like that. Like, fuck them. But you think of the players that they've brought in. Like, they've brought in bona fide starting 11 players who are pretty much going to play every single game when they're fit. Do you agree? Yeah? Like, you're talking your Isaks and your Verts and your Jokeres and stuff like that. If you think about all the signings we've made, including January as well, and this summer, who out of those players would you say is a guaranteed starter in our 11?
Reinders and Donnarumma.
I genuinely think before yesterday with Donnarumma, I genuinely think it was just Reinders. Literally.
I agree.
And you agree?
This is why when people say, this is why it's disingenuous, man. Yeah, I'm seeing people say, well, we spent 500 million, so what you're moaning about? It's like, well, out of all that money that we spent, how many of those players, and what we signed? We signed 5 in January, and then we signed, 5 now? So out of the 10 players that we've signed, how many of those players go straight into the starting 11? Two. Because Marmoushi's not guaranteed. No. Because you've got Doku, and, you know, he might play Savio or Foden out wide. Like, so, you know, I think Marmoushi's a quality player. I'm not saying he's not a quality player, but if you're asking me, is he guaranteed to start?
No, he's not a guaranteed starter. No way.
So the answer to the question is Donnarumma's guaranteed to start. He'll definitely start against United, and Reinders. Nobody else, is a guaranteed starter. Now, if it was me, if you're asking me, Huzanov goes straight into the team. But that's not really because he's incredible or he's like a world-class centre-back. I just think you fucking just need his pace. Do you get what I'm saying? If without his pace, I think you're cooked because of the style of play. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is why, like the club have obviously spent a lot of money, but out of the 500 million, have we actually spent it?
That's the scary thing, though, man. We've become bargain hunt FC, haven't we? Where we're trying to like unearth world-class talent before they've kind of blossomed, in the hope that we'll create profit further down the line, or in the hope that they will turn into something special when they're at Manchester City. But over the last couple of years, that system or that style of transfer business has been proven to fail. So at City specifically, I'm talking about, like, if you go to your Dokus and your Savios that haven't quite worked out yet. I mean, we spent 30 million on Vitor Hayes in January, who's not even at the club now for this year. Do you know what I mean? You've got a question like, why was money even spent doing that in the first place if we've still not got a right back at the club? So I don't know. I mean, you said it perfectly to me over message the other day when you said the club are valuing profit over points in it, by the looks of it at the moment.
At the moment, like I think that's how they went. I've never ever been a fan of buy youth.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a hope and pray strategy.
Yeah, it's a gamble, isn't it? And we've gambled on
you're buying youth, and you're hoping and praying that they just go into these world-class players. But that's just not legit. And like, bro, I said in January, go and get Mark Guay from Palace. He's 25 years old.
Proven.
He's a homegrown player. He's a Prem-proven player. He played incredible at the Euros. This is a player that I think could legit be a world-class centre-back in a year or two. This is a type of player that City was signing 3-4 years ago. And we went and spent 30 million on Vitor Hayes. We now loaned the geezer out, yeah? Exactly. And Mark Guay is going to go to Liverpool in January for 35 million anyway.
Unopposed, by the way. No one's even...
Yeah, exactly. So... Like I say, I actually think the club have realised that they fucked up, because if you look at the signings this summer, we've not made those signings. We've kind of gone back to where we were. The problem that you've got is you've had two summers of damage. Yeah, you've had 2 years of damage. So is this one summer going to be good enough to get us back to the top? I don't think it will. I think you're going to need next summer. And then people go, well, it was always going to be 2 summers. No, it didn't have to be. But we've made it that because of what we've done in the past. So yeah, next summer, yeah, you've got to go out there. You've got to go and get a top-class right back. You've got to go and get a top-class centre mid. You're probably going to need to get a top-class centre back, and you might need 2 top-class wingers. So it's going to cost a lot of money, but, you know, this is what happens. I always say, when you're at the top, yeah, you just need to maintain. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Just keep on buying the Haaland, the Gvardiol, yeah? But as soon as you let it drop, bang. It's like you have a car, yeah? You take your car to service, you get your car serviced every year, right? They tell you what needs to be good. You pay a couple of £100 every year just to keep your car on. We need to do tyre, I need a new pump, blah, 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 blah. If I decide one year, yeah, or for 2 years, you know what, I'm not getting a service, I'm just going to run the car into a garage, and then I take it back to the garage 2-3 years later, they're going to be like, yo, you need 4 new tyres, you need new oil, you need a new filter, you need blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you got to spend 300 mil, but then not only that, 300 mil, 300 quid, 400 quid or whatever to fix it all, but then what permanent damage have you done to the car? You get what I'm saying? So this is why next summer they have to go in big. We need like top class, world class players next summer.
I agree, man.
To top it off.
I agree, but it should have happened long before next summer, to be honest, shouldn't it? Like, if you look at the money we've spent now and like what we've got to show for it, like you say, we're not even guaranteed to see any of these guys in the starting 11 by maybe your Ryan or your Donnarumma.
This is why buying youth is a crap strategy, because there is no guarantee Vitor Hayes is going to be any good.
No.
So that could be 30 million wasted.
At that, and I look at the club doing stuff like that and think they're trying to have a similar situation to like a Julian Alvarez, where they spend an X amount of money, 15 million or whatever it is, in the hope that 2-3 years down the line, they're going to get 80 million for it. I think that was probably their plan with Julian Alvarez all along. And it stinks of the exact same thing when I see people like Vitor Hayes coming into the club.
But the thing is, with the Alvarez situation, you can do that when you're on top. I don't have a problem with you. And Alvarez was already a pretty good player when we bought him. He was already playing for Argentina and he was playing bare games for River
Plate. Still relatively unproven though at the top level.
Still relatively unproven. But at the same time, we brought Alvarez in when the team was fine. Like we brought him in when the team was cool. Yeah. Now, because you've let the squad decline, you then need to alter your strategy and go, the squad's
declining. Can't rely on these guys.
Shouldn't be back. Yeah, exactly. So, listen, I think that obviously the squad is just in an uncertain position here. Nobody really knows what we're going to get, but I already believe that you are going to need maybe 5 world-class first 11 players next summer. I think that's where I see it, man. I just hope that the big players in the team can just keep the squad going for this season enough where we're not just getting fucking battered week in, week out. you know, we're not scrapping to get top 6, and you know, the fan base doesn't turn mad toxic like it did last year, and the players don't want to leave because you know they want to be winning the major honours. Like that's where I feel like this season is more of a, I don't want to say survival season, but just keep the shit ticking along where everyone gets to next summer and go, right, let's fucking go again. You get me?
Yeah. Well, I can already see it in the fan base already after 3 games, man. Like, it's going to start all out fucking civil war within the City fan base, this at the moment. Like, it's already getting there after 3 games, and I know it's been a longer problem than that. But, I mean, the amount of Pep outers I've seen circling around on Twitter and, you know, in the comments on the videos and stuff like that is more than I've ever seen before, bro. And, you know, for me, I'll never, ever be Pep out. Ever. Like, if he's going to go, he's going to walk for me. And he deserves to make that decision himself. He's earned that completely. But when you're seeing this discourse in the fan base already after 3 games of a new season saying like he's finished, he's washed, and it's scary times, man. Like what?
It's more than I've ever seen in my life.
Asking, not questions on his job, but obviously you've got to question the guy, though, aren't you? Like we've said that he's not made the correct decisions recently in the last couple of games and some of the for long periods last year. So. I don't know.
I still fundamentally don't believe it's a Pep issue, though. I know a lot of people do, but I still think that it's a player issue. And this is, again, like, if you're just someone that...
But a player issue is in they're not good enough, or do you not think they're good enough? They've lost the motivation kind of thing?
I just don't think they're good enough. But what I don't know why they're not good enough. Different for different players. But I just don't rate a lot of these players, bro, that we've got. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't. Like, Diaz, I just think he's an average player now. Like, I know he was mint in a treble year.
Yeah.
I think he was,
but you can't cling on to that either.
But what am I meant to do? Just go, all right, yeah. I think he's been average for 2 years. Yeah, Stones, love Stones, but he's not as good as he was 2 years either. Yeah, I think, who else we got in there? Right back options are poor.
Nunes,
I look at our wingers. I think they're shambolic options. I'm sorry, this is just my opinion, yeah? I don't mean I won't back the players. And I never slag the players off. It's not like I'm out here slagging them off. I never slag no one off. But it don't mean I'm not allowed my opinion on the players. I think Doku is nowhere near the level we need. I think Savio can be an elite level winger if he's played on the left-hand side, but Pep don't play him on the left, so he's played him on the right. So I got to judge him on the right, and he scored 1 league goal. Yeah, Bob, I really like Bob, but I don't think he should be starting week in, week out for Manchester City Football Club.
And do you know what?
This is why I think that
for them to improve.
Of course it is, yeah. But this is why I'm saying that for me, it all goes back to the core players. Because for me, yeah, it's like I'm going to need them all to be at world-class levels, the core players that we mentioned before. Because if I don't rate these other players that we've got in the team, the only way we're going to have success this year is if I'm getting like elite level performances from Rodri, Foden, Haaland, Diaz, Stones, and Donnarumma. Because effectively what I'm saying is I need you to carry these other players that are not that good. And again, that's just my opinion. Maybe some people are watching this and say, I think Doku's world class and Savio world class. Well, then I'll say to you, well, okay, then, well, why not getting the results? I think you have to then look at the manager. That's the reason I don't look at the manager, bro, is because I look at the players and go, I don't rate them. If you're sitting here telling me, nah, LB, you're wrong, the players are mint. Okay, well, are you looking at the manager then? Because for me, if you're telling me all these players are mega and there's no reason for us not to be getting the results, then for me, you're saying, well, it's the manager then. Well, some people, and that's what some people are saying, but I don't believe that's the case, man. And
I'm the same. I think I don't think you can't have Pep Guardiola in charge of your football club. In my opinion, the greatest manager of all time, and put everything down to him and say that it's his fault for what's literally the players not performing on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like Pep Guardiola can't control Matheus Nunes' brain at the back post in the box. Do you know what I'm saying? Like. He's not made Matheus Nunes go and do the fucking YMCA at the back post when someone's firing an header towards the net, kind of. Do you know what I mean? And you can see how fucking stressed out he is sometimes. Where
but why have we? But then again, you know, why have we not signed a right back?
Exactly. But is that down to him as well, or is that the job? Obviously, that should be the job of the sporting director. Really, you don't know what the conversation is between Pep and Viana. I'd like to think Pep's asking for a right back, but then again. You might, obviously, he's been accused of being probably overly loyal to some players sometimes. I mean, we've seen Rico Lewis get rewarded with a new contract in the summer. Maybe he's given him certain assurances on minutes this year. And I mean, he's come out and publicly backed Matheus Nunes after his performances at the back end of last year, which obviously weren't bad. I actually rated Nunes at the back end of last year. I actually think he's a very solid right back most of the time, and that's why I was probably happy for him to share the load with a new right back that we were supposed to bring in. But when you're relying on just these two guys alone to carry us through the rest of the season, especially when they've both got these brain dead bozo moments in the locker. When it comes to big games, you can't rely on guys like this because they're always going to have an absolute shit show. Even if it's 5 seconds of not concentrating in a big game, they could be perfect for the other 92 minutes and they could still cost us a football match with one lapse of concentration. And unfortunately, if you want to be at the very, very top of this game, you can't afford to carry people like that in the team. So,
Facts,
again,
man.
I don't know what
facts.
Pep can do. If Pep needs to, I don't know whether Pep's made the decision that he doesn't need a right back, or whether it's the sporting director, or whether it's just a case of, well, if it's not Livramento, then who else is going to be good enough? Because let's be real, there weren't loads of options out there. I know there was a couple of
there was options though.
There was definitely options, and I know that there's been conversations about potential people that could have come in. But again, at the end of the day, any real right back is going to challenge for that position this year, aren't they? Because we've got two midfielders playing there.
And the thing is, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I like Nunes, and I like the sort of story that he's got, you know what I mean, of like not working out but fighting for his position. And he did play well towards the back end of last year. You know what I mean? He was one of our most important players. In fact, you know what I mean? We was at the FA Cup final, weren't we? And a lot of people were saying, why the fuck is Nunes not in this team? Like, I felt that
when Akanji played right back,
Akanji played right back, I felt it was a real detriment not having Nunes' width on there. And in fact, the game that we played against Southampton, the same thing again. Exactly. We didn't play Nunes. Everybody was asking for Nunes.
It was just the other team letting Akanji cross the ball into the box.
But however, as much as I like Nunes and I appreciate the guy's fighting for his position and he's playing well, ultimately, he does have that bozo error in him. Do you get what I'm saying? So, listen, at the end of the day, that'll be a club decision. If we keep conceding points off that, then that's either on the sporting director or the manager, man. But like I say, I think for me, if we've got any chance of winning anything this year, it'll be on those core players, and we need them to be dropping world-class level performances. But you know, it's a team game. Rodri said it himself. He said, I can't come in and just expect everybody just to think I'm going to win us football matches. This is a start. This is an 11. This is a team game. So let's see what happens, man. Like, at the end of the day, we have a good core. If you look at the core through our spine, Donnarumma, world class, right? The centre backs is a bit dodgy, but if we can get Diaz, Stones, and Huzanov in good form,
Guardiola as well.
That should be good enough. Then you've got Rodri, world's best player, arguably. Then you can get your Foden, and then you can get your or Cherky or whatever, and then you got Hart. If you can get that spine playing well, you'll be in a title race, and you'll be doing well enough. It's just, will your left back, will your right back, and will your two wingers who will they fuck up or not contribute enough? Because that's, you know, you can't win a football match by going straight through the middle. You need width, don't you? Quality in the width. I mean, you look at when we won the treble, Mahrez, Bernardo, Grealish played well. Then you had the back four with Ake, unbelievable, and then Walker and Akanji. So I don't know, man. It's like, sounds negative, innit? But like, it kind of is at the same time. But you just like,
but it's hard not to be at the moment, isn't it?
It's just depressing because I don't know if you seen my tweet the other day, but like, before the season started, I was so up for it, man. I was like, fucking come on, man, let's go fucking win this Premier League title back and like play well and show everybody that last year was a one-off. Like, I was trying to be mad positive. And then Wolves game, boom, right, come on, man, let's fucking go. And then Spurs, we took the L, mad depressing, but we always get beat off Spurs. So we go against Brighton, we're like, come on, let's get back on it. It was just Spurs. We always lose against Spurs, bogey team. But then you lost against Brighton, and you lost in the same fashion that we were losing so many games last year. But it's even worse because you got Rodri in the team. So it's like, bro, it's even worse than last year because last year we just kept on making excuses.
He was on a 49 Premier League game streak of never losing when he'd started. And that's fucking worse now as well.
Yo, can you pause the video, bro?
Yeah, of course. Yes, let's go. So we was pretty much talking then about the spine of the team in it and how crucial that is. And it feels weird that the new signings aren't even, well, I'm not saying they're insignificant, but in our heads, like the less significant than the players who are already at the club. And I've been at the club for a number of years now, in it, which is the complete opposite to our direct rivals who were expecting Isak and your Gyökeres and your Wirtz to take them over the line. We're the ones that are relying on the guys that have been there and done it. But I mean, that's the only thing we can lean on really at the moment, in it, because at the end of the day, they have been there and done it. They have got that experience and that know how to get out the line, over the line. But yeah, I don't know whether it's more of a mentality thing for me at the moment. I just question, like I was ranting the other day, wasn't I, about how soft I feel like the team is. And like, I feel like Man City have lost that fear factor nowadays, where people used to be scared to play against us. And I think they just look at us now like a bunch of like soft asses. Do you know, where if you put them under a bit of pressure, then we're going to fold. We're going to crumble. And we proved that all last year. And we proved it against Brighton the other day, that the first sign of adversity, there's not many players in this current squad that want to be stand up and be counted. So again, is the mentality thing down to the manager? Can he change that? Can he fucking put a rocket up some of these players' asses? You'd expect if anyone to be able to do it, it would be Pep Guardiola, wouldn't you? But that's my major worry at the moment, that I don't think a lot of these players have got the minerals to like I say, stand up and be counted when the chips are down, man. I don't know whether
it's I just think it's confidence levels, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's all a confidence thing for me. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, when we used to go 2-0 down as fans, we wouldn't be thinking we're going to draw.
You're still in the game, wouldn't you? Yeah.
You don't even think you're going to draw. You think we can come back and win this game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when we go 1 or 2-0 down now, I don't even think we're going to get a draw out of the game.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
we could be 1-0 up, and I won't think we're going to win.
Well, that's what it is. But it's just a confidence issue with the players, man. And like, it'll all change soon as we go on like a 6-7 match winning streak.
That's what you need.
That the players will be like, oh shit, we're actually mint again. And then when they go 1-0 down or something, they'll be like, nah, we're actually good again. I remember we just won 6 games in a row. Come on, man. And they'll pick up and they won't get rattled. But unfortunately, the club is still in this vulnerable position. Remember, like, people can't get too carried away. Yeah, we look mint against Wolves, but then we just hold 2 L's. We got beat off Al Hilal, a Saudi club, last month, 2 months ago. Yeah, we lost the FA Cup final 3 months ago. So it's not like we've been mint for ages.
Yeah,
we're still in this vulnerable position of we're still not a great football side right now. So this is why, for me, I think we need to go back to basics. Yeah, I think you need to get Aït-Nouri out of the team. Nothing to do with him. Get Gvardiol at left back or Ake, but I'd go Gvardiol. Get Huzanov and Stones in the middle. Nunes at right and pray that he doesn't fuck it up. Yeah. Put Rodri and Nico G in the middle and then just play Reinders and just be a bit more of a solid team and try and scrap some 1-0s.
That does sound like the system has got to change a little bit, though, doesn't it? And that is down to the manager. Because
but that's why, and that's why I think the manager's got to recognise
that. That's why he has got a question in.
I think the manager got the starting 11 against Spurs wrong. I think if you look at that midfield, that's the midfield you play when you're on a 10-match winning streak. Nico Gonzalez, Reinders and Cherki.
Yeah.
That's a midfield that you play when you're mad confident, you're on a good run, and you're like, right, let's go blow these away.
Against Spurs, who beat us every year as well.
Well, what we should have been doing, in my opinion, is going, right, we just beat Wolves, great win. We're playing a notorious team that always beats us. We're at home. Our record against top 6 sides is shit. Let's fucking make it really difficult for them to score. And if we can nick a 1-0, mint. But what did we do? We opened up and we ended up getting punished. And then against Brighton, I like the starting 11. No complaints with the starting 11. My actual problem, I thought we played quite well in the first half.
We did. And don't get me wrong, we weren't amazing. I do understand that, but did you see the stats at half time? Like, Brighton had 1 shot on target in the whole first half, which is like a record or something at the Amex in like the last decade or something like that. We kept them quiet, man. And I do think that was mainly down to the change in personnel.
I agree. It was the system as well. Like, we had Stones and Diaz in a 2, and then we had all 3 midfielders in front of them. So our defense was being protected, and then Nunes and Aït-Nouri were pushed further forward. So every time we lost the ball, they had to get past all 3 midfielders, and then we still had the 2 at the back with the pace. So that worked. And this is where, for me, I think the manager, you need to be about the manager, because in the second half, I don't know what happened, right? But people are telling me it turned on the penalty. It didn't. It turned as soon as we kicked off.
Away, yeah.
As soon as we kicked off in that second half, we were dog shit. Now, that penalty, I think, happened in what, the 64th minute or something of the game? Let me check. When did it happen? It happened, they scored in the 67th minute of the game, right? So, for what? 55, 65, so 22 minutes of that match of the second half, we were shit. So for me, and we didn't make so for me, that's why I look at the manager and go, could you not see that we were getting fucked and we were playing really bad? Could you not have thrown Nico Gonzalez into the midfield to solidify it a little bit? Could you not have made some changes? And unfortunately, and you know, I didn't criticize Pep at all last year, really. I was mainly blaming the players. But I actually think that in the 2 games that we've lost, I am actually looking at the manager and going, I actually think you needed to do more, or it's your fault with the
start. Like the decision to bring on Bernardo against Spurs as well when we're 2-0 down.
Wrong decision. You know, I'm looking at his subs. He brought on Doku for Marmoush. Was that the right decision? He brought on O'Reilly for Bernardo Silva.
No,
was that the right decision?
I thought Marmoush was pretty. Obviously, he's a bit messy looking sometimes with his touch, and he does lose possession quite a few times. But on the whole, I thought he was probably our biggest threat in that first half, Marmoush. I know it's not the easiest on the eye sometimes, but it was him who set up the goal for Haaland. It was him who passed the ball through to Haaland for the one-on-one, where he was clear of the back 4. So I do think, even though he is a little bit messy sometimes, he's probably a guy that's going to either set up a goal or get you a goal in it. So why bring off a guy like that when you are like in a position where you're in a 1-1 or whatever it is? And because it should be Man City chasing the win, not Brighton. Like, do you know what I mean? We went 1-0 in that 1-1 in that game, and you think we're the title challenge, supposed to be the title challenging Man City. We should be going and fucking putting it on Brighton's toes now, pegging them back, and they should be playing for a draw. But it was the other way around. It was Brighton chasing the win.
That happened against Spurs. So we were 2-0 down, and they looked like they were going to get a third rather than us getting one back. And that, again, is a little bit of a worry. Like, why is that happening? Do we not have the players to dominate the ball, to apply pressure? Or are teams going, you know what, we're 2-0 up, or we're 1-1, but we're not going to sit back and just accept it. We think we can actually score more.
Well, this is what I mean. This is what's scary now, because I think people see us as like they smell blood, don't they, nowadays when they play against Manchester City? They know how they can hurt us. They know that we're vulnerable, like you say. And I mean, in the last couple of weeks, I've probably said that I'm excited for teams to start thinking like that coming into games with us, because I think it will open a lot more spaces if they can come and think they can play us off the park, and it's not just going to be low blocks every week. But they've just shown me nothing in the last 2 weeks for me to be able to back that up anymore. Don't get me wrong, deep down inside, I know it'll probably suit us if teams smell blood against Man City, because it is going to open up those extra spaces like we've seen Haaland get in the first half against Brighton. When's the last time we've seen Haaland proper running through on the like behind the back line like that? Like, that's usually his bread and butter in it, and I was so disappointed with obviously that he'd missed it in the end. But I'm hoping, because we are in this vulnerable position, that we see it a lot more, man, over the next few weeks. Because people, like I say, we've lost our fear factor a bit at the moment, and most Premier League teams will be coming to play City and thinking we can fucking get at these from the off. So I don't know whether it will go in our favour in the end or whether we will suffer.
We just need to get some wins together and get the confidence back. But I think at the same time, we've got to stop playing like we're an elite level club. We've got to stop making starting 11s like we're on a 10-match winning streak, and you've got to go back to basics. If you have to go long, go long. I actually thought some of our best plays against Brighton in the first half was when we hit the ball long. You know, that's the one-on-one for Haaland was a long ball from, I think, Buzzinov. I thought last season our best game was the 4-0 against Newcastle. We were very direct in that game as well. Do you know what I mean? I just think like we just need to shit out a few results, and like I say, it's all negative now, but if you can get 5 or 6 wins on the bounce, the confidence will come back and we'll be fine. But we need to get a run going, and because it's ultimately it was the run that caused us to be shit. Yeah, because every game you lose, confidence drops, and then you lose the next game, it gets even worse and worse and worse.
It needs to end now.
Like when we've been on these 15-match winning streaks in the past, some of these games have not been amazing. But
No.
the mentality wins your
Exactly.
matches. Teams
And that's
are beaten.
exactly how Liverpool look now, don't they? They've
Well,
looked
that's what they look like.
terrible in the first 3 games, but they've just managed to fucking get over the line. And I've watched every single Liverpool game this year, and I thought they look shit in every single one. Yet they've won every game against tough teams as well. By the way, Newcastle away, obviously Arsenal as well, and they just managed to shithouse the way through a game all the time. And it does come from that momentum, and it does come from that confidence, like you talk about. But we can never get there unless we start winning football matches. And like you say, the best way to do that is probably to shore it up a little bit, be a little bit more conservative, try and get back to controlling the game a little bit more. Look at the treble season, man. Our team was built around a solid defense that couldn't be penetrated. Like you look at like the clean sheet in the Champions League final, like I don't back us to get a clean sheet against fucking Burnley nowadays.
I know.
Never
It's
mind
mad,
in
isn't it?
Milan in a Champions League final. So
And that wouldn't be that's fine if you believe that your team's going to go out and score 4 or 5 goals a game. But we're not even doing that either. You know what I mean? 1 goal against Brighton, no goals against Tottenham. Yeah, obviously we got 4 against Wolves, but like this is why for me, I like the Ait-Nouri signing, and I don't even mind Núñez from the attacking point of view. But I just think just for the next month or so, just get the back line as solid as you can. And when we start winning games, the confidence comes back in. No problem. Put Ait-Nouri in, and we can go more attacking when the confidence levels there.
I don't think you can play both of them, mate. I don't think you can. I think it's got to be one or the other, or neither. I think we're far too open with both of them there, especially against teams like Brighton. So I think you're right, man. It wouldn't surprise me if Guardiola does come back and starts playing left back, especially in the big games. But then again, we've got a massive problem at right back, like we've said. I've said all summer. And I stand by it that I wouldn't mind seeing Cousinov play there and cover at right back as well. From when I've seen him play there in the past, he's played well, and people seem to be really against this idea. But I don't see the problem with it at all. Imagine Cousinov right back, Guardiola left back. Obviously, Guardiola's amazing at going forward. He's already proven that, as well as being a solid defender as well. And then obviously having the 2 solid centre backs as well. I think I see that as being very, very solid. And obviously, in possession, Cousinov's going to probably drop into a back 3 as well to stop that counter attack, like he did perfectly against Brighton before obviously the mistake happened. I thought he was probably our best player. James Trafford at the weekend.
I thought Marmoush first half was mega, but yeah.
So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that at all. And
I'm not. I just don't think Pep is on that at the moment, is he? I don't think he likes it. I don't think he wants to be playing Cousinov right back now for whatever reason that is. I think what his reasoning is because he wants his right back to get forward and get involved with the attack, which obviously
that's where we're getting hurt. Cousinov. Yeah, he's got to realise.
Like I say, I think, and I get that, but I just think for the short term, I'm only talking a month or so, 6 weeks. Let's just be solid. Let's keep a couple clean sheets, and then you can put the Núñez and the Ait-Nouris in or whatever.
And look at the specific goals we've conceded as well, LB. You think about the Brennan Johnson goal against Spurs, back post where the right back should be. Rico Lewis losing his man. I know Diaz had lost the header before that, but Rico Lewis had about a 5-yard head start on Brennan Johnson there. And he's just defensive awareness, let him down, and he's managed to get goal side of him, and it's a goal. Where does the goal come from against Brighton? Núñez not having the defensive awareness to know that there's a man behind him and then not know to keep his hands down. Like, these are coming from the same areas in every game. So you've got to shore it up. And this will obviously change of style, which we're probably asking for. This probably leads us into the next topic then, which is obviously the big news that has come in the last 24 hours. Gianluigi Donnarumma, like we all expected, has joined the club. Ederson's gone the other way. And we'll start obviously with Donnarumma. I know from speaking to you personally, but everyone else probably does know because they probably listen to you every day as well. But how are you feeling about it? Obviously, Donnarumma coming through the door right now.
I'm buzzing. I think it's a sick signing. I think Ederson obviously wanted to go. His head wasn't in the game. He's just come back off the worst season he's ever had at the club. And then obviously I wanted him to stay and I was fully down for him to stay. But that was on the basis that he'd screw his head in, you know what I mean, and be locked in. And unfortunately,
he wasn't.
We watched the Club World Cup and I just saw a guy that just wasn't dialed in. That's what people say. Well, it was a Club World Cup. He wasn't down in because it was Club World Cup. But when you just come back off the bat, like if you was to rank Ederson's best seasons to worst, last season was definitely his worst season. So I need to see you lock in at the Club World Cup. And ultimately, the guys obviously decided to leave. So I think
he got a lot of shit after that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I just think it proves that he probably wasn't fully committed. You know, he wanted to leave last summer. He didn't. And I just think that like it was probably time for a change because he just wasn't fully committed, which is cool. You know, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, nothing lasts forever, right? So then you go, okay, right. So Ederson's going. What do we do? And you've gone out there and signed last season's best goalkeeper in the world. He was the best goalkeeper in the world last year. That's just a fact.
He was,
so how can we not be happy with that? Like, I'm buzzing with that, man. Some of the saves that he was making last season in the Champions League were ridiculous. And when we've just spent 20 minutes speaking about how bad our defense is, do you want an Ederson who's mint at kicking a ball, or do you want someone who's like not as good at kicking a ball but can keep the fucking ball out of the net?
Well, this is where the arguments this is where the arguments come from, because I'm 100% backing Donnarumma now. I've seen him in the Manchester City shirt. He's here. I'm backing him to the death, man. And I know I was taking the piss out of you for like twerking for players for other clubs and stuff like that before he was wearing a City shirt. But he's here now, so we've got to back him. Now, obviously, the arguments between the fan base, and I know that I've been guilty of it as well, is that with this goalkeeper coming in now, at such short notice, 3 games into a season, it's looking like we're going to have to go through a complete change of identity, a different identity to how we've played for the last decade.
But we was going to have to do that regardless of who we bought.
I agree. So
because nobody was going to come in and replace Ederson and play the same way.
But the worry is now, LB, is because it's happened so late in the window, and it still looks like we was kind of maybe going in the direction of Ederson staying around another year, or Trafford looked like he was coming in and wanting to play ball. Does that not worry you slightly? The fact that we've obviously got a world-class shot stopper in now, but is Pep going to have to change the way that he plays football completely and change the identity in order to accommodate this goalkeeper?
I think we've already started that process.
Okay.
I really, really do. I think we've already started the process I think we started the process a little bit last year. I've never seen us go direct as much as I saw us last year. I think
Ederson got 4 assists last year, didn't he? So
that again proves it. We're going long a lot more. I thought at Brighton first half we were going long a lot more. I just think that, you know, as more teams are pressing us, yeah, like I think we are going to go long a lot more and try and just beat the press by just fucking hoofing it up. And this is where obviously Haaland comes into it. The guy's 6'4", 6'5".
He's got to do it. He's got to do it and work on that side of his game. Then
he has. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think this whole Donnarumma isn't good on the ball thing has been blown well out of proportion. He's not going to be as good as Ederson, but no one is going to be as good as Ederson. I think that's naturally
going to happen though when you've been spoilt with the best ball playing keeper of all.
Yeah, of course it is. But I think it's all been blown out of proportion, man. If I'm being honest with you, so I think it's going to be fine. And if it's not fine, guess what? You got James Trafford, who's better at kicking the ball. So fine, you're cool. You sorted both ways.
Yeah, fair play. It's a tough one because I was always skeptical about it before it actually happened.
I'm skeptical. I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, it's 100% going to be fine." I still think it's a bit of a risk and a bit of a gamble. You know what I mean? And my video today was
the negative side of me is just picturing the fan base in 3 games time if Donnarumma's give 2 passes away to give goals away.
But that's fine. But let's then balance it out with how many saves has he made that Ederson wouldn't have saved last year. Because that's what I'm going to be doing. Every time he makes a save that I don't think Ederson, jot that down.
Probably do that with Trafford from the weekend as well, couldn't you?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be like, right, because then as soon as he makes a mistake, Donnarumma, that costs us a goal, which he will, but Ederson done it as well. Yeah, let's not forget that Ederson also kicked the ball to opposition that cost us goals. Then I'll just go, okay, yeah, he did cost us that goal, but he also saved us that shot that he wouldn't have saved. But, you know, people are going to have their agendas, man. You know what I mean? The agendas will agenda, and we'll see what happens, man. But at the end of the day, I ain't fucking moaning about, for the first time in the show, I've not moaned, but I'm not moaning about City signing the world's greatest goalkeeper last season.
Yeah, there's no denying he's a world-class goalkeeper. No denying. And I think, for me, the thing that I'm most excited about this man coming into the football club is the fact that he can perform in the biggest moments under the biggest pressure. Like we've seen him as a 21-year-old practically win the Euros for Italy in penalty shootouts and massive saves in game. We've seen him take PSG to a treble last year in games that they probably should have lost against Arsenal. Even against Aston Villa, he made some world-class saves against Aston Villa. So that is where I see Donnarumma having huge strengths when it comes to the Champions League knockout rounds and the big games like that, when you expect the few chances that we're hoping to concede for him to step up and make those world-class saves. That's where I see Donnarumma's strengths at. I do question across the whole 38-game period in the Premier League our ability to maintain our identity. But where do you see that going? Do you think Pep now is going to completely change our style of play, or do you think he's going to try and adapt Donnarumma to kind of mould into the keeper that
I just think we've played different systems since Pep's been here. Like, people are acting as if we played one way just because Ederson's been our goalkeeper for 8 years. We've played loads of different ways. We've had different wingers. Look at Sterling and Sane compared to Mahrez and Grealish. Completely different. Look at the box midfield we had in the treble year with John Stones. So this will just be another slight adaptation of the way we play. But because it's the goalkeeper, everyone's flapping and going, oh, it's a fundamentally different way and we're going to have to completely change the way we're playing. I think it's because he's been there for that long, and he's been a mainstay in that team for 10 years, whereas everyone else is doing this when we signed Mahrez and we had Grealish and Bernardo, and people going, whoa, 2 years ago we went to Centurions and we had Sterling and Sane, and now we're playing a completely different way. This isn't going to work. No, people just went, oh, it's a couple of different wingers. Oh, this will be interesting. Guess what? With one of them, we won the Centurions, and with one of them, we won the treble. It was a slight adaptation. All that's going to happen is we're going to adapt to the way we play. We're not going to play the same way. You won't play the same way with Sterling and Sane that you would with Mahrez and Grealish. You're not going to play the same way with Donnarumma that you're going to play with Ederson. Yeah, but I just think people are shitting themselves. People are scared because obviously we've had Ederson for 8 years. People are comfy with him. And it's like people just afraid of change. And it's like, hang on a minute. Yeah. How about you trust the greatest manager we've ever fucking seen to be able to adapt to the way we play again?
And I think that comes from being able to adapt team selection wise in order to fit Donnarumma. So I don't know whether we'll start seeing a little bit more of a change in personnel, which is what we've been asking for anyway, in order to accommodate Donnarumma being in goal. Like, are we going to see more of the John Stones and the Cousinovs and the Guardiols, who we know are all great ball players, to give him that little bit more confidence when he's passing out of the goal? This is where I think that Diaz is in a lot of trouble now, because I noticed there was certain patterns of play in the first couple of games where it was Diaz and Trafford, especially against Spurs, where they were targeted, those two specifically. They were letting Trafford give Diaz the ball. Now, I'm in a position where I'm worried now, where if I think Donnarumma's in goal and he's got the likes of Trafford, who's maybe not the best, Diaz, who's maybe not the best on the ball, even Nunes, man, I don't even think I can trust him with his first touch sometimes. That's where I think that Pep's probably going to have to adapt, because we're all got to admit now Donnarumma's going to be the starting keeper moving forward.
Yeah, people are asking on Twitter saying who starts against United.
I've seen a poll today on Twitter, LB, and this was going to be one of your yes or no questions, to be honest, but I think you've already pretty much answered it. And I think it was actually people were asking who's going to start against Manchester United, Trafford or Donnarumma, and I think it was actually slightly more people voted for Trafford than Donnarumma, which I thought was wild, bro.
I think you're fucking smoking if you think Trafford's starting, because he can't start Trafford against United, because if he starts Trafford against United and he plays mint against United, he's then got to stick with him for Arsenal.
I think that's why people
don't want to do that.
I think that's why people are arguing that he shouldn't be dropped for United because he played mint against Brighton.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? The reason we've signed Donnarumma is because you don't
on the money
Trafford.
That he's on as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to put Donnarumma straight away. Yeah. Maybe Trafford will play the Napoli game. Yeah. Maybe he should play the Napoli game. I think we're at home. Do you get what I'm saying? His first Champions League game. He's never played a Champions League game. That's probably a good game for Trafford to play. So the way I handle it, if I was Pep, is I'd stick Donnarumma in for the United game, stick Trafford in for Napoli, and then unless Donnarumma has an absolute fucking stinker against United, stick with Donnarumma there for going forward. But
There's
I'd
been
be
a lot of.
absolutely stunned if Trafford plays against United. I really
I
would.
would be too, personally. I just don't see why he'd even come into the club if he wasn't going to be a bona fide starter from the get-go, man. On the wages that he's on as well.
Yeah, it's not happening, man.
I can't see it happening. And I do feel for Trafford, and I do get the sentiment behind what some of the fans are saying, but it's a fucking business, man, and points is what the club wants at the end of the day. And
I don't feel sorry for no one, man. At the end of the day, yeah, like this is a professional football club. Like you pick the players that are the best players, man.
Yeah.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? Do you feel did you feel sorry for Mobama last year when Haaland was playing bad and he didn't get a single minute?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. He's a brand new signing that's come in, and I don't think this was always the plan when he did.
No, but the plan was always to be number 2. Because Ederson was going to be the number 1.
True, yeah.
And James Trafford was never going to be the number 1 for Man City.
I think the assurances was probably that he was going to be the number 2 for a year in it, and then he was going to take over.
And what about if Ederson turned around this season and gone, you know what, lads, I actually want to stay aside of fighting for your contract, then what?
Yeah.
So I'm just like...
He probably backed himself a little bit more to overthrow Ederson, whereas now you've got a keeper on a 5-year contract. Like you say, he was probably the best in the world last year. On big money, so you can't really have a keeper like that holding bench, man, on the contract that he's on.
So then he can leave next year. If he gets next summer and he's like, you know what, lads, I want to go play first team football, City will be like, no problem, mate, we'll let you go, 30 million, and someone can have you, and he can go have the pick of his clubs.
Profit FC again.
And then nothing's changed for him because he wasn't going to play for us this year anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why people are getting like mad about it.
I do get it. People are getting proper butthurt about it.
But he was never going to play this year anyway. So nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that might have changed is that he might have been number 1 next year, which was never, ever guaranteed anyway. No. And if he gets to the end of the season and goes, you know what, clearly I'm not going to start because Donnarumma's mega, which is good for us anyway, because that means Donnarumma's playing really well, then he can leave and then be number 1 next year for another club. And that's what would have happened anyway if Ederson signed a new deal. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, yeah, this is a professional outfit. Like, you can't just be like, yeah, obviously I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we've just signed the world's best goalkeeper last season. Like, come on, man. Can't just be like, bro, this guy last time. You got to back it, man. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man. I thought it was only fair. Obviously, I'm gutted Ederson's gone, man. So it's only fair that we speak on him a little bit as well. Because it's been pissing me off the last few days. I can't lie. Some of the just disrespect, like I've seen on Twitter and online, saying that they're glad he's gone and he's shit and he's cost us this and he's cost us that. This guy, for me, has been completely integral to our identity, how we've performed the last 10 years. He's probably one of the main reasons why we've been as successful as we are. Pep made that brave decision to get rid of Joe Hart, who I've seen a lot of people today saying he's still the best keeper of all time for us, which I think is complete nonsense. He's got the most Premier League titles of any keeper in Premier League history. He's got the most golden gloves. We've seen he fucking pings assists like no keeper's ever done before. Most clean sheets for the club as well. I just thought we obviously need to touch on how important this guy's been for the club, man, and just give him his flowers, really, because I don't think he's getting enough of it, to be honest, from what I've seen. What's your feelings of it? I obviously, we're not going to say we're gutted, but do you think it's do you see him as City's greatest goalkeeper of all time? Do you think he's as important as I think he was?
Yeah, my lifetime is the best goalkeeper I've seen in my lifetime. I also think there's a lot of mad, disingenuous shit going on the timeline. I've seen some guys say we would have won 4 Champions Leagues if we didn't have.
Yeah, that's what I've seen, yeah.
And he put the games, he said the games, and he said we would have beat Tottenham if it wasn't for Ederson. And then and then I was like, right, let me go watch the highlights. Completely didn't blame Aguero for missing a penalty. No. Didn't miss the 2 Laporte bozos. Yeah, didn't mention the fact Pep started Delph in that away game when Delph was absolutely shit at the time. So like, people do this, man, and it's like, yo, at the end of the day, he's won the most Premier Leagues as any goalkeeper ever. Mm-hmm. So like, bro, listen, last year he was bad. He was bad last year. It was his worst year in a City kit. You can say that about a lot of City players, but I think you got to give him the flowers, man. I think he's City's greatest ever goalkeeper I've ever seen. It'll be interesting what the unks who were alive when Troutman was playing say. You know, I'm saying different
But
era.
he's got
and
all
that,
the
but
stats to back it up, though, as
he's
well.
got
Like,
the stats, man.
if the unks want to talk about that, then you've got to look at on paper who's got the most clean sheets, who's got the most Golden Gloves, who's got a treble, who's got 6 Premier League titles. Like, there's no arguing with it, in my opinion. This is why I seen people putting fucking Alisson over Ederson in like Premier League all-time goalkeepers list before, and I was like, are you for real, man? Like, obviously people are talking right now who's the better shot stopper. Then yeah, but when you're talking about all-round Premier League legacy, go through the list of this guy's achievements, and it's not even close, bro. It's not even close. Before last year, Alisson had 1 Premier League title. Do you know what I'm saying? In COVID. And I'm getting blocked off fucking Boovy on Twitter because I call him out for saying that Alisson. So he's saying the day Ederson leaves Man City and he's posting a tweet saying that Alisson's better than Ederson. Or like, why? Like, if you think that, then fucking post it another day. Why on the day that he leaves are you telling me that Alisson's better than Ederson? I can't take it, man. The guy's blocked me now anyway, so...
Blocks, bro. You block, man.
Click this, send it him. Boovy, I want you on Misfits, bro. He's gone too far. Gone too far. You are not a representative of me, man. But yeah, I just thought we've got to touch on Ederson, man, and give him his respect. Like,
nah, facts, man.
He's changed the game, man. So I guess we'll pretty much try and wrap up now, but we've got... somewhat big after the international break, bro. It's the Manchester derby. It's a game that was fucking shocking last year. Like, 2 of the worst games of the season for me. And I don't want it to go in that direction again. So what are your thoughts going into it? What do you want to see? How are we going to turn this around before?
So number one, clinical. Yeah. I know there's mad pressure on Haaland. People are getting onto Haaland. You're getting onto Haaland. A lot of people are getting onto Haaland, yeah. But at the moment, we cannot trust the defense. We can't trust not conceding goals, yeah. So
our chances away.
We've got to bag the chances. I think you've got to start Marmoush because he's a goal scorer.
Even if he is messy, like we said.
You've just got to get as many goal scorers on the pitch, and you've got to be saying to the lads, like, fucking hell. Like, you've got to be burying these chances, right? I think you go solid in midfield, yeah? So I go Rodri.
Go on, give us your team then. Go back to front.
It'd probably be, I think a little bit about it, especially the defence, yeah? I don't fully know the defence. I don't know who's fit. But from midfield, yeah, it'd be Rodri, Reinders, Nico G. Yeah, with obviously Reinders.
Bernardo, yeah?
Yeah, just for the physicality side of the game. I want to be winning these duels, and obviously if we are going long a little bit more, I need to have the fucking bit more physicality. Marmoush, Haaland, and then if Foden's available, Foden, drop Bob, Foden in. Yeah, then you've got.
Well, that's the big question.
Three goal scorers up top, and then you've got 3 players in midfield who can do the business there. But we've got to fucking win the game. If we lose that game,
Guardiola coming at left back though, yeah, if he's fit.
Probably if he's fit, which he should be fit. Gavardio, probably Stones, Huzanov, and probably Nunes, and just fucking hope Nunes doesn't fuck it up.
That's the tough one, isn't it?
Last year,
yeah, and then Donnarumma straight in goal, yeah.
Donnarumma straight in goal, yeah.
See, I'm scared, man. I mean, I think we're going to be that terrified to lose that game. And don't get me wrong, I want us to win it. Yeah. I can see a 0-0, bro, again. Same as Old Trafford last year.
Well, then you're fucked because you're going to... I'm sorry, man, but you're losing at Emirates. I'm sorry.
No.
I have no... I don't even hope we get... I don't even think we get a draw. I think it's a guaranteed L. So
against Arsenal, yeah.
That's why you've got to be winning against United for me. You've got to win just to soften the
We've been playing with that fear, though, haven't we, for 12 months, man? We should have beaten them last year. And we didn't even play for the win, did we? Remember watching that game, bro? It was horrendous. Didn't even look like scoring. But I just pray. Like I'm telling myself that's how I think it's going to go. But I just pray that Pep does the right thing and we go for the fucking jugular, man. Because look at the state of them as well. I know we're behind them in the league, but you can't be drawing to teams that have just lost against Grimsby.
I actually think, though, the international break probably do us a favour because I think even though I think we played well against Brighton first half, we were still mad rusty. Like a lot of the passes, loose control, loose touches. And I think there was a lot in that first half where it proved that we were rusty. And remember, we didn't have a proper preseason. So I actually think, bar John Stones, who's the only one I actually don't think should be playing, I want as many minutes in the legs of these players at this international break as possible.
Quite a few of them have been pulled out, haven't they?
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen it, but like Rodri,
I've seen that you wanted him to get minutes.
I actually think he needs to get minutes, man. And people will be like, "Oh, well, it's risks." Yeah, but he might fucking fall down the stairs tomorrow. Like, you don't fucking know. Like, I think you've just got to risk it. So, yeah, man. But that's a huge derby for both teams, man.
Do you know what, LB? It's probably one of the, like, I know it's so early in the season, but the state that we're both in at the moment, it's probably one of the biggest derbies that I can remember in recent years, man. Like, there's a lot riding on this. Like, if they end up doing us, then they go go more clear of us in the Premier League, man. Like, there's a fucking a lot riding on this derby. And imagine the crash out from us and the fan base, and after, if we're coming away from that game and it don't go well, it's not going to be good. And I talk about civil war in the fan base now. I can't even begin to imagine what it will be like after that game. So we've just got to go in. And
that's 3 losses on the road. No one can glaze that, especially when you're getting beat off that United team. That can't happen, man. No way.
No, it can't. Right. So, yeah. Shore it up. Best goalkeeper in the world. Fingers crossed in net now. Hopefully we can be a little bit more solid and then put your fucking chances away. Simple as. Haaland's got to start doing that more. I know I've been critical of him the last few weeks because I know what he's capable of. And this is why it hurts me and gets me riled so much. Because I know what the guy can do. And that chance against Brighton, that when he's through on goal, is not the Erling Haaland I know. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I expect more from the guy. I hold him to such high standards. Like, he's on the biggest contract in the world. He's paid like a world-class footballer. So he's got to be exactly that. So I back him to do it. I do back him to do it.
All I'd say is as well, right? If you don't have the composure to finish it properly, fucking put your laces through it, man.
Whack it. Like, that was
you should be having composure. Yeah, these players should have composure to finish it nicely, yeah. But if you're shitting yourself, just whack it as hard as you can.
Finish, wasn't it? Very unconfident finish.
Yeah, he shit. Even when he got put through, he's running, he's strike. Like, I feel like in
the
treble year,
messy, didn't it?
In the treble year, every time he went for on goal, like, he just looked smooth. Whereas when he was going through, it's like, well, bit of a dodgy touch, and he's chasing after it, didn't get himself set up, and it was a crap finish.
And then it's kind of underneath him when he's taking the shot. And I said it looked like his fucking right foot was trying to tackle his left foot when he was running. It's just a dead clunky, isn't it? Like,
he, you know, it was only 3 months ago. He had a penalty against Palace in the final. He didn't want to take it. That's a confidence issue. So he's still probably not that confident, man. So I always say, man, if you're low on confidence, as soon as you get in front of net, fucking smack it as hard as you can, man. Do you know what I mean? Just do an Aguero. Aguero was a cold finisher, don't get me wrong. But he also, like, fucking smacked it as hard as he can.
Front post smashing it. That's Aguero special, yeah.
All you have to do is avoid the goalkeeper, and then it's in the net, innit?
Yeah, man. Right, well, therapy session. I don't know whether you feel better. I'm still fucking stressed, thinking about this United game. But we've got a little bit of a break now, going into the international break. I'm probably going to stay away from watching England. I just need a break from football, man, to be honest. So I'm just going to hope and pray that we come back firing for the United
game. I'm doing injury watch-alongs.
Yeah, be careful, man. Last thing we need is fucking Stones and Rodri going down on us. But yeah, it is stressful. But like you say, it's probably better that some of these players get minutes in it. We'll finish off now. You obviously answered the Donnarumma yes or no question already, so I've got 3 more for you. Little bit of a routine thing this when we have you on nowadays. So obviously the right back thing has been an issue. We've got 4 goalkeepers at the club currently and 0 recognised right backs. Do Man City have a recognised right back by the end of the January transfer window? Yes or no?
No.
You don't think they'll address it still?
I think they'll wait till the summer. Yeah,
that's wild. Is that based off? You don't think the right personnel's out there? You don't think?
I think the personnel's out there. I think there's fucking about 100 right backs that I could name you. You know what I mean? That you could go and get.
Do you think they're waiting for that right one though? You know what Pep's like with the players that he wants.
Well, at the start of the show we spoke about not going too early on some of these players. And other than Livramento, unless you're going to go and get like a Vanderson, who I've never seen, but he's 24, maybe they don't think he's world class. So maybe
they think that's a risk. Maybe they think the same as us, that they can't really gamble on project players.
Yeah, but then I would have gone and got a short-term solution. That's the difference. I would have gone and got a 29-year-old who can just do a job. But no, I don't
like Dumfries or Aina, like you've said.
Yeah, it's going to get me a guy who can just give me 7s out of 10s.
And even split the load with Nunes for a year.
Exactly.
We've called for that. So no recognised right back by the end of the January transfer window. That's worrying, man. It's worrying. So you'd like to think we'd fucking step up before then. Do Man City win a trophy this year? Now, I know last time I had you on, I asked you, will we win the Premier League this year? And you said no. Now, things have got that drastic nowadays over the last 2 weeks that the question's completely switched up now. Do Man City win a trophy this year?
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I think we win one of the domestics.
Would you say that?
And I'll tell you something as well.
Would you say that? Is that a success in your eyes?
Well, for Manchester City Football Club, it's probably not a success, but I'd accept it in what could be a bad season. Like if we would have won an FA Cup last year when we were shit, I would have fucking took that all the way to the bank. Yeah. I'd have been like buzzing. We had a shit season, we still won an FA Cup. So yeah, if we win a Carabao and FA Cup, I'm not going to be like sitting there going, oh, mega season. And I still know, even though a lot of people disagree, for the club, that is still a failure for the club. Yeah. For a lot of fans, they're just buzzing to win anything. But one thing I will say is, in the last 5 years, Pep's fucked the Carabao Cup off. And I've never complained about it once.
He can't do it now.
I understand that we're going for the Prem and the Champions League. Bigger fish to fry. I think this year, when you're looking at we're probably not going to win a Champions League or a Prem, yeah, I don't think you can afford to fuck the Carabao Cup off. So me personally, I will be annoyed this year if Pep puts out a starting 11 that fucks the Carabao Cup off, because I don't think you can do that this year.
We've got to go for everything we can, man, this year. We've got
exactly. You've just got to send everything this year, man. And with the size of the squad, you should be able to do that.
And with that Liverpool team and who they've bought this transfer window, if they don't win a treble this year, then they're a fucking disgrace, man. So if we can stop that, then fucking even better. Last one. Tough one. I've heard you speak about this. A little whispers here and there now and again, but I don't know whether you're fully set on it yet. Will Pep Guardiola still be here for the start of the 26-27 Premier League season?
I'm going to say no.
Oh, shit. Last year, yeah.
I think he might.
How do you think that ends then, LB? How do you think that ends?
I just think we get to the end of the year. We don't win the Prem. We don't win the Champs. And I think we win a domestic. And I think he decides to call it a day. Yeah. Scary
thought, man.
Yeah.
What direction do we go in there? I know you're a company man.
It depends which route. For me, I've got 3 options. You either go and get Luis Enrique out of P. I think Luis Enrique would be my number 1 choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and get him. If you can't get him, you don't want to come or whatever, then I think you've got to go either Nagelsmann, yeah, or you got to go and get Vinny Company.
Okay.
Yeah, you go either Nagelsmann, see how he does. Obviously, well, you don't see how he do because you can't make the decision before the World Cup, yeah, because you can't make it after the World Cup, but it's too late.
Yeah.
But I do like Nagelsmann. I like the way he plays football. Again, very similar, similar philosophy, similar style.
We wouldn't have to change too much, would we? No.
Yeah. A lot of people say, oh, well, he didn't do that well at Bayern Munich. I think he had a very difficult time with what was going on at Bayern Munich at the time. The board, players, he had people leaking team lineups and shit. I think he had a very difficult time. Or you go full sentiment value and go Company.
Which sometimes, I know people don't fully rate him as of yet, but sometimes that gives you the fucking boost that you need, doesn't it? Do you know what? Especially when you're coming off, say, maybe 2 underperforming seasons where the players don't seem motivated. Maybe that's the fucking key, innit?
Exactly.
So have someone
and I tell you what as well, yeah, some of these players, mate, because the thing is, yeah, everyone will be, if Company comes in, it might not be everyone's choice, but when he's here, everyone will be backing Company when he's here at the start. Obviously, there'll be some people that won't, right? But most people, especially the real fans, yeah, they'll be backing him, and it'll definitely be manager over player, because you don't, if I see a player disrespecting him or not working hard enough, I'll be like, yo, you little fucker, you know what I mean? You best, you know what I mean? Company's the guy. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's not for everybody. I get it. Not everybody wants him, but that'd be my 3. I don't really want, I know a lot of people say like Iriolas and the guy at Palace, but I want someone that's won league titles or that's like doing bits. You know what I mean?
it doesn't always work. That does it. People making a step up. I mean, we've seen like the likes of Graham Potter make the step up.
I think you've got to have
even
some
Arteta,
authority.
man, like he's not won anything, has he?
No,
He's
no.
made a
I think for
massive
me,
step
you've
up.
got to have some off. When you're walking in a dressing room with Rodri, with Haaland, with these type of guys, you've got to have some authority over the players. You've got to know that the players got to know that, right, this guy, he's the boss, right?
Yeah.
If Luis Enrique comes in, it'll be a respect thing because it's like, yo, this guy's just won a treble. This guy's been at Barca. Big up to you. If Nagelsmann comes in, especially off the back of a good World Cup campaign with Germany, right, this guy did it at Bayern and he's done it at Germany, respect thing. And if company comes in, they'll just respect him because of who he is at the football club. And company won't take no fuck. Like, I know what company will be like in that dressing room. They're going to be going sick. Like, we all seen what he was at, like, when he was at Anderlecht. And that clip of him going sick at Xerxes and that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
you can't get like an Iriola who's like, oh, I did it at Bournemouth. Like, listen, lads, when it's like David Moyes when he went United.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
No.
You've got to have the respect. Like, the players didn't respect him. Like, there's always that conversation where apparently Moyes was reading a book on sort of an away game on the coach of like how to like better yourself as a manager. Like, nice, but then players looked at it and went, and they shouldn't do this, right? But the players look at him like, you're reading their like get better as a manager book. Like, what the fuck are you doing here?
You're
like,
at Manchester United.
You're at Man United. You're meant to. So you've got to come in with an ego, an aura. So I would be against like the Iriolas, and I'm not saying they're bad managers. I just think they need to go to another club, do something there, and then come to City after that. You know.
I agree, man. I agree. I completely agree with the commanding respect thing, especially when you've got a changing room full of treble winners, Premier League winners. Like, you need someone who's got those fucking leadership qualities, don't you? Which I do rate in a manager, not always in a player, but in a manager, it's important. All right, listen up. We'll wrap it up there. Obviously, thanks to LB for coming on again. I've had a blast. Feel a little bit better. A little therapy session after the weekend shit show. Hit the subscribe button, please, if you're watching, yeah? We're 15 subs away from 1K, right? This is a big thing. We're going to start doing some live streams and that once we get over the 1K mark. Obviously, thank you to you all. We've done it in pretty much 3 weeks, so buzzing with it. Obviously, couldn't have done it without LB support either. Guys coming on, being a guest on the show and that. So, yeah, big up, everyone. If you've got any questions... I'm clinically online, so I'm always responding to hate mail or questions in the comments. So yeah, drop me whatever you want, call me whatever you want. We fucking love it over here. But yeah, obviously we'll catch you on the next one, and yeah, hope you all feel better too. See you in a bit, people.